Digital euro in what sense?
Never heard of it.
I've heard about it, and I think you can compare it to a Bitcoin.
We will have less cash, and that's a shame. It's actually to look over us.
Cash, you give, you receive, and all this works, it's faster.
Are Europeans ready to adopt a new digital version of the euro? After its coins and banknotes, the European Commission is proposing the digital euro, a virtual version of the currency issued by the European Central Bank, which could be used for free alongside cash in the eurozone. Let's set our sights on Brussels. So why create a digital euro? What would be the benefits for European citizens? And what approach should be chosen to develop it? I am meeting with the European Commissioner Mairead McGuinness to better understand the stakes around the creation of this new currency.
Commissioner, why do we need a digital euro?
Yeah, it's a great question, actually, because it's such a new concept. People are wondering. So this is euro, it's cash, and you know it, you see it, you understand it. But maybe I won't have cash in my pocket. So I want the alternative, the choice to have a digital version of cash. People aren't using cash as much as they used to. Now, COVID really accelerated that trend. So it's about choice, essentially. Will I use this cash, which isn't in a wallet today, but it normally is, or will I use a digital version of cash?
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. We'll come back to this in a minute, but first, let's watch our crash course. The digital euro will be a digital version of physical euro notes and coins. It will have exactly the same value and can be used in just the same ways. To buy an ice cream, purchase clothes or send money for a birthday, even across borders. You could, for example, use a QR code to make a payment from a secure app on your phone and even make payments when there's no internet connection. When it's fully deployed, traders will have to accept the digital euro just like they do cash today. The digital euro is very different to cryptocurrencies because it's backed by the European Central Bank, ensuring its stability. The idea is that in a digitised world, the digital euro allows everyone to make safe payments to whoever they like, whenever they are in the eurozone.
What would be the advantages for European citizens to be using a digital euro?
I think when we try to put our minds around a digital euro, so this is a wallet, and actually I have euro cash in this wallet as well, but I mightn't want to break my 50 euro because I have it for something else. So I might decide to use the digital wallet to pay for the euros for these drinks. So cash is how people might pay today, but more and more they're using cards on their phone, and we want to have the option of the cash equivalent in digital format. And now we've proposed legislation, but that's only the start of a process.
So how would it be different from a contactless payment, for example?
It is different because it is central bank money, whereas the other payments are private money. So you know what its value is, and therefore we want to translate that same sense into the digital era, because more and more we are using digital payments.
With the digitisation of payments, central banks are concerned about losing the anchor cash has had in their financial systems. A digital equivalent of cash would help support the sovereignty and stability of these systems. At the National Bank of Belgium's museum, I met economist Maria de Merdis. Here we can observe how payment methods have evolved. So I asked Maria, will cash disappear?
It's interesting, the evolution of cash. After the pandemic, we thought that most of the payments were done digitally. But actually, if you look at the numbers, these are ECB numbers, 42% of the value of all transactions in the euro area in 2022 were done in cash. 42%, it's not quite half, but it's really very close to being half. I actually think that the direction of travel is a reduction of cash into more digital payments, but I do not think that it will totally disappear. When it comes to our everyday payments, it's not going to be very different. It's probably going to be an app. It will probably be intermediated by financial intermediaries like bank, and it will be paying in the shops, just like we pay digitally with any other means. And given that at least at the beginning, the ECB will only start with small amounts, we will not be able to have more than 3,000 or 4,000 in the bank. It will actually not make much of a difference for the consumer. If you want the digital euro to mimic cash as much as possible, you need to make an effort to make it as anonymous as possible. And here the ECB is telling us that they are going to have anonymity for small levels of payments, but as you start paying bigger amounts of money, it will no longer be anonymous.
The European Central Bank conducted a public consultation on the digital euro. The concerns that emerged from it were privacy at 43%, which was the biggest percentage, followed by security, usability across the Eurozone, absence of additional fees and offline usability. Data protection associations also raised concerns about privacy, anonymity and payment tracking.
You may indeed want to ask about this is around, but who's watching my spending if I'm using a digital euro? The ECB are not interested in how you spend your money, but they want to give you the option of having a digital version of cash. So you can actually use a digital euro payment offline. If you use your digital wallet offline, it's a private transaction. Of course, if you're doing an e-commerce transaction, your bank will know that you're using your digital euros to do that. But I want us to have these conversations so that people, if they are concerned, we can answer those questions and put their minds at ease.
Despite concerns around data protection, the digital euro represents a business opportunity, especially for fintechs, as Jan Boom explains.
Fintechs are young companies, technology companies that provide financial services. We are very innovation-driven, we are technology-oriented, and we provide solutions for clients, such as, for example, this payment solution that you've just used when you paid your coffee.
Future users who are expected to be people and businesses in the Eurozone could benefit from these innovative services.
Today, the European payment landscape is actually very fragmented. So we have a number of US firms that provide card payment schemes. People use PayPal, for example, for peer-to-peer payments, but we don't have like European systems so much. So the role of fintechs is obviously to provide innovation, but also to provide disruption for greater transparency, which should result in better products for clients and also lower fees.
Currently, approximately 120 central banks around the world are working on digital versions of their national currency. The proposal drafted by the European Commission regarding the digital euro on June 28 aims to establish its legal framework, a joint proposal ensuring the preservation of cash.
So what are the next steps and when the digital euro will be available?
Well, this will not be my decision. The legislation is to put, if you like, democracy in action around a digital euro. And that process is up to the European Parliament and Council. So the ECB will decide if and when a digital euro will be launched, and there is no date on that.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. And thank you for the water.